big, serious change. Change.
David Cameron says he's the alternative to Brown. If you vote for him, you're voting for change. But are you really? Remember, it was only 13 years ago that a Labour landslide wiped out a sluggish Tory government that most were tired of. So what has changed? Cameron's Eton-Oxford background and obvious links to nobility point to typical Tory. But is he a toff? He argues not. He drinks pints of ale in the pub and cycles on his bike. But as the class war rumbles on, he would say that. His career began in the Tory research unit and then as political advisor to Norman Lamont. Dabbling in TV management, his roots would always lead back to politics. But he knows how the media works and will no doubt be confident in the TV debates. As leader of the Tories, he first went up against Tony Blair and latterly against Gordon Brown. Ever since the moment Brown bottled holding an election in 2007, he's been eager to stand before the public vote. As leader, he's voted strongly against introducing ID cards, against introducing foundation hospitals, against introducing student top-up fees, against Labour's anti-terrorism laws, for the Iraq War, for an investigation into the Iraq War, for replacing Trident, against the hunting ban, and for laws to stop climate change. He's been accused of being socially elitist. The class war brought up by Brown and co as he attacks Cameron's inheritance tax policy. Protecting the non-doms like Zach Goldsmith has been a familiar headline. The Lord Ashcroft saga went further. Not only a non-dom, but a party donor too. His A-list for women candidates was slammed by some in his own party. They claimed it was insulting to women. Under pressure for admitting he's brazenly elitist when it comes to picking teachers, he also came under pressure for allegedly using recreational drugs when a student. His response was, "I did lots of things before I came into politics which I shouldn't have done." We all did. Cameron says he will drag Britain out of recession, mend our broken society with the most family-friendly set of policies ever, and fix the disgraced political system. Some of his election policies include freezing public sector pay and cutting Whitehall bureaucracy, scrapping all politically motivated NHS targets, reforming the national curriculum, maximising efficiency in the Ministry of Defence, and making police more accountable to the public. The economy is his focus. He has to convince the voting public that he's better placed to clear Britain's huge deficit than former Chancellor Brown. A tough task. GB won global plaudits for his management of the recession. What Cameron needs to remind voters is that it was Brown with his hands on the purse strings when the banks were allowed to run riot in the city. Austerity is the message. Big cuts are inevitable, but he says he'll sell Britain to the world. With his poll lead shortening by the day, his party's huge investment in the marginal constituencies will have to pay off to avoid a hung parliament. He says his secret weapon is wife Samantha. Coming across well on a recent TV interview, Cameron's major task, though, is winning the confidence of the public and making them believe he's the best man to lead Britain back to recovery.